We've got a new rumor that a foreign oil tycoon is interested in purchasing Lucasfilm and Star Wars from the Walt Disney Company to the tune of $8 billion, double what the Walt Disney Company paid for Lucasfilm back in 2012. They paid around $4 billion to George Lucas to acquire Lucasfilm. This rumor comes from friend YouTuber Overlord DVD. He reveals one of his Hollywood spies informed him. So we've been told there is an individual interested in buying Star Wars. So this rumor was told us three-ish weeks ago, and we pretty much laughed about it and moved on. Now we have several sources confirming this, and while Disney may not sell, we've been told that there is an offer on the table. According to this, the potential buyer is an oil tycoon from overseas. Allegedly, he grew up loving Star Wars movies and has only recently seen the latest movies, and he wants to fix them. The latest source that made this claim says this guy is willing to pay $8 billion and he won't even miss it, referring to the $8 billion. And Disney can keep the rights and even make new ones, but will never be allowed to make another movie, show, cartoon, etc. I don't know about you, but I find this a little bit hard to believe, given the fact that we have seen Bob Iger make it very clear that he wants to focus on the big IPs, the big franchises. This is what he said at the Q1 fiscal 23 earnings results call. He said, and additionally, we are going to lean more into our franchises, our core franchises, and our brands. I talked about curation in general entertainment. We have to be better at curating the Disney and the Pixar and the Marvel and the Star Wars of it all. So that doesn't sound like someone who is interested in selling the property. That it looks like someone who is interested in creating more of that and hoping to improve the quality of that and improve the movies that are coming from those franchises, keeping that in house. He also made it very clear, though, that they would be cutting costs because they are trying to cut about $5 billion in costs, and that $5 billion cuts is including around 7,000 employees that they're laying off. So Disney isn't in the best situation financially at this point. So they are trying to cut costs as well. He says, and of course, reduce costs on everything that we make. While we are extremely proud of what's on the screen, it's gotten to a point where it's extraordinarily expensive. We want all the quality, we want the quality on the screen, but we have to look at what they cost us. So, and this is what he says here. So we're going to continue to go after subscriptions, but we're going to be more judicious about how we do that. We're going to look carefully at pricing. We're going to reduce costs both in content and, of course, infrastructure. There's a lot that we're going at there. And then he also talks about cutting marketing costs. So he would reiterate much of what he said in the first quarter in the second quarter earnings result. This time he said, as we grow the business in terms of the global footprint, we realized that we made a lot of content that is not necessarily driving sub growth, and we're getting much more surgical about what it is we make. So as we look to reduce content spend, we're looking to reduce it in a way that should not have any impact at all on subs. We believe there is an opportunity for us to focus more on real sub drivers. And it looks like Star Wars is one of those sub drivers, at least with theatrical releases. He says, one thing we also know is that our films, those that are released theatrically, big tentpole movies in particular, are great sub drivers, but we were spreading our marketing costs so thin that we were not allocating enough money to even market them when they came on the service. He said, as witnessed by the ones that are coming up, including Avatar, Little Mermaid, Guardians of the Galaxy, Indiana Jones, Elemental, etc., where we actually believe we have an opportunity to lean into those more, put the right marketing dollars against it, allocate more away from programming that was not driving any subs at all. So I would assume that would also include any upcoming Star Wars films, whether or not those three that they announced at Star Wars Celebration ever come to fruition. But I would think that would be a safe bet that he would also include Star Wars films in that. But I think the biggest caveat here, though, going with this rumored foreign oil tycoon, is the fact that we did see the PGA Tour and the Live Golf Tour basically hurling insults, getting really nasty to each other over the course of a year. And all of a sudden, this past week, Live Golf has basically merged with the PGA Tour, and they are one now. So anything is possible. It might not look like that Iger is looking to sell Star Wars or Lucasfilm, but when everything has its price, and it's possible that the Walt Disney Company might indeed do that. But as of right now, I don't think that's going to happen.